Hey, comic book fans. It's Mick here at Multiverse Comics again, live for, I think this is our third video so far. Just wanted to talk to you today about some other comics and things that we didn't get to review the other day, as well as some other things that go on here at the store and some other product lines that you guys might be interested in. I'm going to go ahead and start with actually some Dungeons and Dragons. This is the latest book right here, our Waterdeep Dungeon of the Mad Mage, which is the second part of a story arc series. We're running that here on Sundays, every other Sunday right now, at the store at 2 p.m. It starts out at a level 5 adventure, takes you through the Undermountain. It continues on the previous story book, the Dragon Heist. However, you don't have to have played any of the previous adventures to enjoy this module. And like I said, we play every Sunday. So whether you're brand new or a veteran, feel free to stop in. We'll roll you right into the game and guaranteed to have a good time. One of the other games I wanted to talk to you about today was something that we discovered last year about this time. It's called Wild West Exodus. It is a miniature skirmish game. It's kind of a steampunk meets the Old West with some aliens and monsters and other scary things all rolled into one. The miniatures themselves are really good quality. I'm pretty impressed with those. It's made by a company called War Cradle Studios. So just to give you an idea of some of the sets here, and I'll get you some close-up shots of some of the miniatures here too. But this is like the Secret Service Posse set, which basically a Posse set would be something that you could purchase that would have an entire team in it for you to start out to play. We do run events here for that as well as casual playing anytime that you guys want to come in and do that. But to give you an idea of how this works, it's just a standard miniature skirmish game. If you're familiar with any of those types, I build a team, you build a team. There's a scenario that's picked randomly from a rules book, and then we fight it out for 5 rounds, and whoever scored the most points by the end of the round to be the winner. I'm going to tell you, with the historical flair of this game, it's a lot of fun. This is the Secret Service set, which would feature Abraham Lincoln, who survived the assassination attempt at this point, and decided not to return to the presidency so he could run the Secret Service and not be stressed by the duties of the presidency, which goes along with other parts of the game. But they have other characters that are either historical figures that they've tried to change a little bit, or some other characters that they may have borrowed from other genres, such as, say, the Deadly Seven posse here, which is very reminiscent of the Magnificent Seven. Also a lot of cool figures in this one. There are the Wayward Eight, which is very reminiscent of the characters from the Firefly TV series or the Serenity movie. And then, you could just do, say, Lawmen, which we also have on hand right now, which are mainly a bunch of robot lawmen with 1 or 2 human commanders. Like I said, there are other alien factions in this, as well as Native American set, and what they call the Hex, which is kind of their monstrous guys. And they're all pretty cool as far as the miniatures and everything are concerned. I do have an Abraham Lincoln here that I've painted. I will come up and get you a closer shot of this one. There you go. There's a little bit better look at Abe. And his shotgun axe. He's pretty cool. We'll do some painting tutorials on these sort of things here the next week or so. It'll get a little blurry on us there, but you get the idea. They're pretty cool. This game is what is called a 28mm Super. So if you're familiar with other games like Malifaux, It's basically the same type of scale. It's a little bit bigger than Warhammer and D&D. So, outside of that, I'll move on to some comics. So, one that came out a couple of weeks ago, and I've had a couple of customers in talking about it, is called Astro Hustle. This book is pretty cool. It's kind of a space pirate throwback to the 80s almost. The characters in it are pretty vibrant. Some of the military guys have, ridiculously large plume feathers on their hats. It kind of reminds me a little bit of like a Flash Gordon feel meets, the ridiculous pirates. So maybe, Pirates of the Caribbean, and Spaceballs overtones. But it's pretty cool book so far. There's only been the one issue. Issue 2 should be out sometime this month. We'll definitely talk about that a little bit more when it gets here. One of the other fun, they had a fun variant with this one that actually referenced the book as almost an 80s trading card pack, that there was no chewing gum included, and then it was presented in color. So I found it amusing. You guys should check it out. We've got plenty of copies in the store. And I'd be happy to let you sit down and read a copy or take one home with you. One of the other books that is very popular today, and if you are a D&D guy, why are you not reading this book? It's called Die. It's based on 6 teenagers, basically in the late 80s, early 90s, get sucked into an RPG, basically Dungeons and Dragons, so a D20 game, and they live in this world for a short period of time. 5 of them come back. One of the members ends up staying. 20 years later, those other 5 get sucked back into the game. The world's significantly different, and their exploits from their previous adventures are referenced, and there's some pretty cool stuff in here. I don't want to give anything away because every issue is kind of got a little bit of a surprise to it. But the artwork is fantastic. The writing is very well done. And if you enjoy any sort of fantasy books, or you're a D&D or Pathfinder player, this is definitely one of those books that you should be reading right now. Those are really the only 2 books I had in mind to review for today, but I did want to let you know of some other things that came in this week. We do get some rarities as far as comics are concerned on a regular basis. One of the books that we got in this week is a nice looking copy of a Fantastic Four number 80. Not super duper rare, not real expensive on the price point on it, but it is a nice good copy. So if you're interested in a Fantastic Four 80, do stop in and let us know. We'll be happy to help you with that. We also got a Spider-Man 361, which is our first appearance of Carnage. That one came in this week, as well as the first appearance of Nebula. Now, I bring this one up because Avengers is coming up in about 3 weeks from now. So Nebula being one of the key players in the Infinity Gauntlet story arc, I would assume that she'll still be a pretty big player in the movie. So if you are dying to have Nebula's first appearance, Multiverse has a copy of it waiting for you. So that's really all I had planned for today. Later this week, we're going to have a discussion, I think, about some of the movies and TV shows that are coming up. Definitely, we'll be talking about the Shazam movie since it releases this week. Like I said, we'll be doing some miniature painting for you guys here this week as well. And possibly a live stream of a D&D game as well. So until next time, we'll see you then. Thanks again for watching.